Let's have a property tour, shall we? Brian Lebo here, and today we are in Green Valley. We are in Anthem Country Club, and this is a custom home built on a half-acre lot. And it's a very, very unique floor plan with some very unique features because the house is situated on a corner lot. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. We always start off in the kitchen, but we like to talk about the flooring on the way. So the main floor of the entire property consists of actual real hardwood. So this is 3/4 inch walnut hardwood, which again is something that you rarely find. But when we get to the kitchen, when we get to the formal living room area, you're gonna notice that the hardwood is actually inset with this gorgeous 48 inch large format porcelain tile that looks like marble. So it's very elegant. The main thing with this home is we're used to seeing a lot of modern minimal design. This is modern, but it's very contemporary. So very, very different aesthetic, very classy and very unique. And I love what they did here. So like we always do, we start off with the island. So of course, we're used to seeing the obligatory waterfall return, but this isn't that kind of design aesthetic. Like I said, this is more contemporary. So we have this beautiful, large, oversized slab of quartz. So it's kind of like a Calcutta marble style quartz with that veining. You're gonna see similar later when we get to the bar area, but it is a little bit different when we talk about the veining area, but very lovely. Now, over here on the right side, this is our walk-in pantry, but let's talk about some of the cabinetry for a moment. So all the cabinetry, all custom, and it's a very kind of a more modern contemporary shaker style cabinetry. Really, really lovely. But there's a lot of features that I think a lot of you would really appreciate. So when we go into the cabinetry, it features pull-out drawers everywhere. A lot of them have electrical outlets built in. So even right here, you could have a larger countertop appliance and you do have an electrical outlet. So really, really functional. This is kind of neat. We've seen a few of the modern homes lately with this, but over here in the corner, this pops up and actually slides into a cavity. And this right here is another appliance garage for some smaller appliances that may require an electrical outlet, but really, really, really neat. So coming down a little bit farther, we have that same quartz counter surface that we had on the island, but here it extends as a backsplash all the way up to the upper cabinetry. We do have our professional series 48 inch Wolf stove, and we have the matching 48 inch ventilation hood, and this has been sheathed with a similar style cabinetry as the rest. But we gotta hit the pause button. I know you guys, this is a hot button topic. Guess what? We do have our pot filler, so you can all rejoice. You can exhale. We do have you covered. Which brings us back to the island, and you know where we're about to go. So I'm happy to say, you know, we're over $3 million, which means our obligatory rule is that we have to have 2 dishwashers. And yes, we have 2 dishwashers. So over here on the left side, we have the ASCO dishwasher. And then you tell me if we're like kind of cheating a little bit. We have a cavity for 2 dishwashers, but we kind of almost have 3 because over here we have our Fisher Paykel drawer dishwasher system. I'm a big fan of it, especially if you have to run small loads. That's really kind of neat. We have our stainless steel farm style sink. And then, you know, the water in Las Vegas is pretty rough. So if you really appreciate your water quality, you kind of have to have a reverse osmosis system, or you're bringing in bottles of water from Costco or the grocery store. They actually have this on a water drop system. This is my favorite reverse osmosis. I actually have the X12 system. Reason it's so cool is it doesn't actually have a tank. So it's tankless and it's unlimited, and you don't have to worry about that tank getting a little grungy and nasty over time. So really neat, and it's built in. Beautiful illumination over the island. And let's come down a little bit further. So like I mentioned, this house is on a very unique lot. So there's a lot of bizarre outdoor spaces, and the way the home is situated is a little bit unique. So if we walk down this area a little bit further, we have double French doors that lead into what you would think is the backyard because that's where the pool area is, but it's actually the middle of the house. So it's kind of like the side yard. So follow me because, again, it's a little confusing, but really unique, and I'm gonna do my best to walk you through. Over here, we have our GE Monogram 72 inch built-in refrigeration. So good to go there. Coming down a little bit farther, here we have our built-in microwave oven. And this is kind of a neat little kind of ode. Here we have our built-in cutting board, which has never been used, by the way. So if you're so inclined, you'll be the first one to use it. Over here, kind of unique, like we were talking about, in this cabinet, it's a small pantry area, but even here we have electrical. We have actually 2 electrical outlets. So if you had other appliances, you could put them there. Little morning bar area, more room, but this is where things are kind of a neat little quirk. If you watch for a while, you know I love my little sneaky Scooby-Doo doors. So here I'm trying to articulate, I'm tugging on it, couldn't figure out what's going on, and then I realized it has to be something. If you push this in and articulate, this actually leads you into what could be a secondary pantry, but in this incarnation, this actually houses all of the audio, video for the entire property. So really, really neat. Okay, we're gonna come up this direction, a little strange, but we're gonna come up this direction and see the laundry room and a little bit more. So coming up 3 steps, we're gonna get to these 3 doors here in a moment, but first we're gonna focus on the laundry room. We do have a closet over here to the left. Coming into the laundry room, we have a different black Imola granite floor surfacing here. And we have stainless steel counter surface for the laundry room. We have shaker style cabinetry, but we have it in a little bit of a different veneer. And of course we have our washer and our dryer. Now, like I said, the backyard's kind of in the middle of the house and the front door faces the street. But because this is a corner lot property, you actually pull into your garage and motorcade from the backside of the property. So this leads you to the backside garages. So right here, this door is actually for your singular garage. So this one houses just a 1-car garage, even though this house has a 4-car garage system. Now, this door right here that looks like a front door, this is actually the door that leads you outside to the motorcade where you can externally reach those other 2 garages. And then this door right here, this door leads us to the 3-car garage. So you have a single bay and then you have a 2-car garage door. This also houses the Vantage system. So a little bit older, but this Vantage system controls all of the electrical outlets for all of your illumination throughout the entire home. And it has central vacuum. So everything you need all in this area in the back of the property. All right, we're gonna speed this up. Let's go back to that kitchen area. Let's see a little bit of the formal living and dining area. Okay, so back to this kitchen area. So over here on the left, we have our kitchen, and then panning over this direction, depending on how you look at it, this actually would be your formal living room and dining room. So this could be the formal dining area. Here we have a beautiful ceiling tray, very nice. And then of course, this would be our formal living room, but currently this is set up more as a family room, which we'll get to in a moment and explained. But one of the things I love about this property is through all the corridors and all the common areas, you're gonna notice there's either 7-foot tall windows or there's double French doors. So right here off the family room, we have double French doors that lead us into what we would normally consider the backyard, but this is where the pool area is. If we come down a little bit farther, we have another set of double French doors that leads us into the same area. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this could be a formal living room and dining room. Here, it's more of a formal family room. But what's neat is while we have this beautiful hearth, we have our fireplace, we have some art above, but this actually is where the television would go. We have a center channel speaker above us. We have our left and our right channels, and we have our rear channel speakers behind us. And this gives us a perfect sight line to the kitchen. So really, really works, really makes sense, and a really beautiful and large oversized room. And one of the things I love is I love this coffered ceiling. It's very unique, very, very beautiful. Okay, let's get back to where we started the tour. We're gonna head down this corridor for a moment and see some of the secondary bedrooms. But first, let's talk about this entry. Now, this is actually an iron door with glass inserts. It's very, very heavy, really lovely. And I love the fact that you can get all this natural light in, but you have these main steel doors that can be closed and secured so no one can even approach your front door, and you have privacy from the street. So really, really well done, well thought out. Flanking either sides, we have custom California closet cabinetry. Try saying that 3 times. Really neat, kind of like a mud area to come in and take your shoes off. Now, Let's come down this corridor and let's see some of these secondary bedrooms. Over here on the right side, we have an ingress egress into that family room area. We're gonna step down 2 stairs and we're gonna check this out. When we come out of this room, pay attention to this hallway, because what I love is, like I mentioned, we have these 7-foot windows and then we have double French doors at the end. So everywhere you go, there's an abundance of natural light and it really gives the house a wonderful vibe. Now, coming into this bedroom, we have the extension of the walnut flooring. We have electrical on the floor, which makes this absolutely perfect to be an executive office. That's what I would use this for. And this is in the front of the property. I love having the office in the front of the property, so while you're working, you kind of can see what's going on in the front of the home. We have wiring for a display, and here we have a French door and we have a 7-foot window. This leads us directly to the front door and that courtyard area entry. So really, really neat. And if you ever have people that need to come for work reasons, they can actually hit this external door and they don't actually have to go inside of your dwelling. So another bonus feature, making this an office. We have a nice little custom built-in, more windows. And even though this is an office setup, everything here is ensuite. So we have custom cabinetry by California Closets extending into here. And then even we have an attached bathroom. So into this bathroom, shaker style cabinetry, we have a mosaic tile shower, and we have a beautiful, beautiful marble counter surface. So just a wonderful ensuite bedroom, and it can be used in a multitude of ways. So coming into the hallway, once again, you have the 7-foot tall windows, really neat. We have an entire bank of closets over here on the left side, the double French doors that lead to the pool here. And this is a cool relationship. So let's step inside this bedroom, because this bedroom was set up to be a fitness room. So we have a massive mirror here, tons of windows. We do have a built-in closet system here. We do have a display, so you can, harness your Zen. You can get the news on while you're on the treadmill, whatever you want to do. Coming into this room, this is really neat because obviously we have a shower, we do have a vanity, and we have our toilet. But you'll notice over here on the left side, we do have a door that leads to the backyard of the house. And the reason is that door will take you right inside to the pool, because again, you do have the double French doors here in the hallway, but you don't really want to come in from the pool into the hallway because you do have all that beautiful hardwood. So you don't want to get that there. You can come right in the side of the house, right into the bathroom, and you're good to go. All right, let's go back to where we started at the front entry, and let's see the other hallway there. All right, so we're back by the entry area, and I love this shot behind me. I just think this is a beautiful and dramatic shot. And part of what makes it so beautiful and dramatic is you're gonna see throughout the property, here all the columns have been lined with imported Italian limestone, and it just gives it just a beautiful aesthetic, and the way it blends with the hardwood flooring is incredible. So one other thing, I mentioned the Vantage system. Over here, every single room, every single area has this programmed illumination system, so you can preset it to have certain lights come on. Much of what we see now with Control 4 systems, Savant systems, but this is kind of like the precursor to it. Now, over here on the right side, we're gonna get to this a little bit later, but we have double French doors that lead into this covered patio viewing conversation area. It's one of my favorite parts of the house. Really, really, really love the way that was incorporated. Again, more windows. Over here on the left side, we have our formal living dining. That's kind of more of a family room. And we're gonna say, let's see, over here, this is the entry to the kitchen. But now let's talk about this space. So first off, over here, we do have our wine closet, and this is actually climate controlled. Like I always say, if I don't mention it's climate controlled, it isn't. But this one is, so congratulations. Didn't count, but you can easily put at least a couple hundred, if not a few hundred bottles in there. Very, very spacious. Now, coming around here, beautiful coffered ceiling. We do have surround sound. Love what they did for the illumination chandelier here. More 7-foot windows. This leads into this really cool area that we're gonna see. And then once again, we do have these double French doors that lead into that covered patio. So this is a really neat area. Again, this could be a formal dining area, or this could be somewhat of like a breakfast nook, more of an informal area. Blow those doors out and enjoy some al fresco dining. Really neat. Now, coming more towards the back of the property, over here on the left side, we have our half bathroom. So we have our toilet behind the door, a nice drop-in vanity, beautiful marble counter surface, a proper half bathroom. Now, coming through this, so here we have double doors, and this is one of the cooler parts of the house. So this is more kind of like your speakeasy, your bar area. I love what they did with it. So we have our cigar chair area over here. We've got an abundance of windows going all the way up, about double height ceiling, so 20 feet high. And again, there's complete and absolute privacy here. Now, one thing you're probably wondering is, where does this spiral staircase go? If you've watched for a while, I'm scared of heights. I can't stand spiral staircases, but I did traverse it earlier, and it is kind of funny. When you get to the very top, all that's up there is a safe. So I don't really know how they got the safe up there, but yeah, the safe is in a very remote location, but kind of neat. Okay, coming in here, now we have the bar area. What I alluded to earlier is the counter surface. Here we have that quartz, kind of like that Calcutta, but the veining here is a little bit different. The striations are a little bit thicker. It's a little bit different. Nice curio cabinetry over here. This is a proper wet bar, denoted by the fact that we have this sink that's been dented and coppered. Really neat. Now guys, you're really gonna freak out. We had 2/3 dishwashers. We definitely have 3 dishwashers, because here we have this little poquito dishwasher, definitely on the smaller side of things, but perfect for the bar area, so you can take care of your glassware and your flatware. And we do have a little refrigeration here on the left side of the sink. So really a neat area. We have more storage over here. And then once again, we have double French doors. And this is kind of a unique situation, because these French doors lead out into what I'm kind of calling a little Zen garden. And this is actually the back side of the property. So beyond this is a street and these homes' front doors, but this loops around all the way to where the motor court is and the garage. So again, you could utilize this bar area in a multitude of ways and have that be another cool outdoor area. Now we're gonna come down this direction and check out the last of the secondary bedrooms. This is kind of cool. Underneath the stairs, they gutted this whole area out. So this is kind of like Harry Potter's bedroom, but it's actually spacious. This is actually more the size of a small storage unit. So a perfect place to put your items that you don't normally use very often. Okay, coming into this area, first off, we have the bathroom. So marble counter surface, above mount sink, really nice. But one neat thing in here is, while we have this mosaic tile floor that comes up, the shower is also a bathtub. So you always need to have a bathtub for your children and your fur babies. Over here on this side, we do have a walk-in closet. So enjoy that B-roll of the walk-in. And then finally, we have this area. So can't quite say this is a bedroom because it doesn't have a, well, actually, I'm sorry, it does have a closet. We just talked about that a moment ago. So again, this is your bedroom area. It's set up to be the office, but I think it's best to use that front bedroom as the office, especially with the electrical underneath what would be your desk. But this is a proper bedroom. And this is what's really neat. So once again, we have double French doors that leads us to this area. And this is actually towards the front of the property. And I love this space. So over here, we have this elevated seating area. Obviously, we have these hurricane enclosures for candles, very dramatic at night. But with all these trees, you have tons and tons of privacy. But now this was the area that I absolutely loved. So coming in here, it's completely enclosed patio cover. We have surround sound. I love what they did with this wall. Once again, this is our imported Italian limestone. We have our fireplace. This would be perfect for a display. You're pretty much shielded from any wind. Again, perfectly covered. This would be a wonderful viewing area. Just absolutely love it. We have the double French doors from the entry area. Tons of patio furniture. Here's our double French doors that led into the formal dining / breakfast nook area. Love this space. All right, guys, we've seen the entire main floor. We've seen part of the outside. Now let's go upstairs. Let's see the primary suite and a little bit extra, and then we'll finish up by the pool area. All right, guys, welcome to the second floor. So behind the camera right now, that is the primary suite, and that's where we're gonna end the tour. But let's follow around the corner here. We have two secondary bedrooms on the second floor. So let's start off with this one. Nice modern banister railing. Over here, we have tons of windows. This overlooks that Zen area. And now we're in one of the secondary bedrooms. So behind this door is a walk-in closet. And in this bathroom, we transition to a 12 by 24 inch porcelain tile that looks like marble. And we have another shower bathtub array, so perfect for children and the fur babies. Good to go. Coming down a little bit over this direction, kind of interesting, but we have a beautiful window here. Once again, we have the same that we've seen before. Beautiful double French doors that lead to this little Juliet balcony that overlooks that outdoor viewing area that we just saw moments ago. This is kind of a funny situation. Drew's of the opinion that this was set up to be a library. This, if you're an 80s kid, this reminds me of Q*bert. So a little jumping around. I don't know. I would love to know what that incarnation actually was. All right, now that we've seen this, let's go across the hallway. Let's see this other bedroom. Talking about the flooring, once again, the entire main area upstairs is that same walnut hardwood that we saw in the main floor downstairs. Secondary bedroom, walk-in closet. This room is very, very spacious, so a little bit larger than the most. We've got the shades drawn, plenty of room, wiring for the display. And of note, even on the second floor, the ceilings are 10 feet high. So something you definitely notice when you're in the space. This bathroom is a little more modern. So here we have more of a dark concrete gray 18-inch flooring, an interesting vanity that has this radius coming around. Obviously we have our toilet and we have a nice shower, again with that same modern 18-inch dark concrete gray tile. Now that we've seen the secondary bedrooms, now let's see the main event and let's check out this primary suite. So the first thing that you notice, if we had them closed, you notice that we have these dramatic double doors that are solid core, really beautiful. Now over here, we have his water closet. The reason I say his is because right around this corner here, we have her water closet denoted by the presence of the bidet. Really neat. Now, behind me, this is dramatic. We have a 15-foot long double vanity, above mount sink. We have this leathered stone counter surface, relocated plumbing onto the wall, tons and tons and tons of cabinetry. Really, really incredible. Now let's check out the shower. Now, if you love steam showers, you're gonna love this one. This, of course, is a steam shower. We have two shower heads. We do have our handhold, and we have this glass array, which is really, really incredible. I'm gonna pop out the other side and show you this bathtub because this is a dramatic bathtub. I love this area. So we technically have 5 walls here encompassing this freestanding bathtub, all real marble, very, very dramatic, very lovely. And this bathtub is massive. This is arguably the biggest bathtub functionally that I've seen, and it has a jacuzzi function, but you could be like 7 feet tall. It's so deep. This will accommodate any and everyone, so very, very functional. But now let's check out this closet. So coming into the closet, this is one of the more newer renovations to the property. So this is a full custom California closet, tons and tons of space, very beautiful. Love the light oak look. Love the matching illumination that we saw downstairs in that hallway area. Double mirrors, everything that you would possibly want. So just really, really wonderful. Okay, now that we have seen the closet and we've seen the bathroom, let's check out the sleeping quarters and see what's going on over in that area. So walking into the sleeping quarters, again, we have our 10-foot high ceilings. We do have a nice ceiling tray. And then over here, we have our media display area. So we have left and right speakers. Here you would, I mean, obviously this was built when we had CRT televisions or projectors, DLPs, but here you could just mount an articulating mount and then have your flat screen panel flush or a little bit outside. Perfect, perfect. Great sized bedroom, kind of neat. Over here, we do have a subwoofer that's built into the wall. So if you like your bumps, you get a little bumps in the bedroom, but this is wonderful. So over here, we have double French doors like we've seen, and this leads us to this incredible outdoor balcony area, partially covered, but of course, we do have our fireplace, we have an umbrella, We have that same imported limestone on the wall. And over here, it's just a beautiful area, very private. This is kind of overlooking that wonderful viewing area, and we're right above that patio. All right, guys, we've seen the entire inside of the dwelling. We've seen some of the outside. All we have left is to check out the side of the house, which houses the pool. So meet me downstairs outside and let's check out this pool area. All right, guys, welcome to the backyard, and I love this. One of the things that I love is this is more of like a courtyard. So you're almost completely encompassed in this area. So you're not likely to get much wind. Really, really serene. So we're gonna start off on this end. So over here, these double French doors, this led us right into that fitness room. So if you got a nice sweat and workout, you can run right through the doors, jump right in the pool. Wonderful. Now, talking about the pool, I love what they did here. So they plastered the pool a little bit more modern, this kind of medium gray. We have the elevated jacuzzi, just wonderful. Now over here on the right side, this is our ingress and egress right into that formal living room, dining room. That's kind of more of a family room. And then over here we have our Baja shelf. So we do actually have a receptacle so you could put in an umbrella. So if you're like me and don't need to get a tan, you can enjoy the shade over there. We're gonna pan over this direction. I do love, you can see all these columns with that limestone. And then this once again is our ingress and egress into that family room across from the kitchen. Now, stepping up a little bit, these double French doors, these are the doors that led us directly into the kitchen area. Coming down a little bit further, you can see the elevated jacuzzi. I love the mature sago palms. And then right here, we have our outdoor kitchen area. So we do have our barbecue grill, we have our sink, we have our burner, and it's been sheathed with this stainless steel so that the smoke doesn't actually discolor the stucco. So really wonderful. Coming down a little bit farther here, one of the neat functions is we have this wall that actually hides and obscures all the pool equipment. And if you notice, you'll see down there that fence that's secured. That fence brings us to the back of the property where the motorcade and the four-car garage is. So really, really wonderful. Coming around, again, all this beautiful mature landscaping. We got the Japanese blueberry hedge wall. Just wonderful, wonderful. And over here, this is a really, really neat water feature. It's turned off at the moment for sound, but this is a cascading waterfall feature that you can see directly from the family room. Just give you that beautiful, beautiful ambiance and subtle noise that you love. Again, I love this perspective. So from this perspective, we can see all the limestone sheathing all the walls and the columns. Just a wonderful, wonderful outdoor space. You guys, tell me what you think. What's your favorite part of the home? Do you like the floor plan? Do you like the design? Do you like the fact that it's on a corner lot and you have an entrance on the front of the property and an entrance from the back of the property? Very, very unique for a custom home. Special thanks to my guy, Jonathan Chao. Congratulations on this wonderful listing. Great guy. Again, I really much appreciate you. Guys, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe. I will see you guys next week with another wonderful property tour and, of course, the luxury report where I tell you everything that is going on in the luxury space regarding Las Vegas real estate. Thanks again for watching. See you next week. Deuces.